John 20:28. Apokrithe Thomas kai epen auto, ha kuriasmu kai ha theosmu. I will remind you that right before this, Jesus has invited Thomas, who did not believe what the other disciples said about seeing the resurrected Lord because he wasn't there. But then Jesus has now appeared again with Thomas there, and Jesus has invited Thomas to touch the wounds in his resurrected body, and he has commanded him to be believing and not unbelieving. And then in response to this invitation and command, we read, Thomas answered and said to him, notice this is Thomas saying this to Jesus. He says, "My Lord and my God." And then if we continue reading in the next verse, Jesus commends him, because you have seen, you have believed. In other words, Thomas is believing the truth and saying the truth in addressing Jesus as my Lord and my God. This comes full circle from John 1:1. Go back there where Jesus in his pre-incarnate state as the Logos is identified as Theos. In the beginning was the Word, the Logos, the pre-incarnate second person of the triune God. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word was Theos. And here Thomas addresses Jesus as ha theosmu and ha kuriasmu. What we have here are two examples of the nominative of address. And when you have a nominative of address, it's very common to have the article present, so for these nouns to be articular. Let's note a couple of other things. This apokrithe, we've seen that over and over again, but it's never bad to review it. It's from the verb apokrinomai. When we write that out, we remember that apa is a prepositional prefix, and so if there's going to be an augment, it will be here, and that's where that epsilon comes from. As soon as we see the theta, it's like a big easy chair kicking back, somebody feeling passive there. So that in form, it's an aorist passive indicative, third singular, to match the third singular subject Thomas, but it's a medial passive, isn't it? It's conveying a middle idea with a passive form. Thomas answered and said, apen, that's the second aorist of lego, just a second aorist active indicative third person singular. I would encourage you as you're studying the scriptures, if you're watching this video, you're someone who's reading the Bible in Greek, to pause and ask yourself, can you say this to Jesus? Is he your Lord? Can you say ha kuriasmu kai ha theosmu? Have you recognized Jesus for who he really is and why he has come? I encourage you to pause and pray and reflect this day.